Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the BrickFilmer podcast, a podcast series where I answer your animation questions. We got some pretty cool questions today, some pretty fun questions, some important questions regarding uh, content creation and stuff, so should be a fun podcast, and let's dive into the first question, which is from Brickmaster Logan. He asked, what are your thoughts on short form content? All right. So, my stance with shorts on YouTube and like making shorts, I typically try to stay away from shorts in general. Like if you're just making one-off shorts that don't are not related to your long form content. I'll get into that in a little bit, but the reason you don't want to go heavy on shorts for your YouTube channel is because it attracts passive subscribers. Like, shorts can get a lot of subscribers on your channel, but that doesn't mean that your long form videos are going to get any more views. If anything, it's going to hurt your long form videos because the short subscribers just subscribe because they saw a cool short, but they won't see your long form videos because they're not interested in that type of stuff. So whenever the algorithm sees that you have, an extra 100 subscribers, but none of them watched your video, your long form video, then it's just going to push your video to the side and think that there's something wrong with it. So that is my number one reason why I do not like to make shorts in general. I do make shorts though, but they are almost always related to a long form video of mine. What this means is like it's either a clip from a long form video or like just like an animation from a challenge video or something. And I have the long form video tagged underneath the related section of the short. So that way people see the short. I have a call to action for them to watch the full video and they click on that video. So that way my shorts are kind of the advertisement to my long form videos. That's how I like to use shorts. You don't necessarily have to use shorts for only that, but like you can still have fun and make some random off the wall shorts every now and then. But the point I'm trying to make is to like not go heavy handed on making short after short after short with very little long form content, because you'll get a lot of engagement on your shorts but not on your long form videos, and your long form videos are the most important for building a community and getting monetized if you're interested in that type of stuff. So for the integrity of your channel, like don't go overboard on shorts. But yeah, that's my thoughts on shorts. I try to not make too many, but they are cool though, because they do make for some cool like behind the scenes content. Where like I made a couple behind the scenes videos where I just post a video of my set layout and then like the final animation and like a little editing, and it's cool. I like to do that for shorts, but yeah. Um, yeah, I think it's about everything on shorts that I know of. They're an interesting feature on YouTube, that's for sure. Moving on to question number 2, which is from Nergal. I don't know how to pronounce this. Nergal Studios. I hope I said that right. He asked, would you rather make 10 videos that are 1 minute in length or one video that is 10 minutes in length? I guess I'm asking, would you rather put months of work into a longer video or split work up into multiple videos worth of content? So this really depends on like the video you're making. Like if you have a bunch of different animation ideas that you just want to make, like doing a bunch of 1 minute videos is perfectly fine. You would make a 10-minute long video if you're like, if there's like a specific story that you just really, really, really want to make into an animation, and like 10 minutes would be the perfect length for it, and you're willing to put in that much work into an animation. If that's the case, then 10-minute video is great. But it all depends on like if you're willing to make a long video, or if you're more willing to make a bunch of shorter videos with a bunch of different ideas. You could also merge a bunch of like short video ideas and kind of group them together in a cohesive way to make a longer video. That could work too. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, yeah, that could work. Like having like, say you have a joke in this one video that's like the main punchline for it, for the whole video, but you had this really cool story in this other video. You could merge the two together if you think they'd fit, of course. They could be drastically different, but if they do fit together, you could try to fit them together, make a nice story, and then have a punchline at the end of the video and do it like that. But it really, when it comes to length of videos, it really depends on how passionate you are on the story, how much time you're willing to put into it, and how many ideas you have for different videos. Because if you have a bunch of ideas for different videos, it might just be worth making a bunch of shorter videos, so that way you don't burn out of one big project, especially when you're like semi starting out and have a little bit of a trouble sticking to one project. Like making a bunch of shorter animations is perfectly fine. There's no problem with that. But I mean, 5 to 10 minute long brick films are pretty cool to watch, especially when they're very well thought out and have a lot of good story to them and are well made. Just don't go making a feature film. Let's see. Moving on to question number 3. Oh goodness. Yeah. Calvin Productions asked like 20 dozen questions. We're gonna try to answer this as quickly as possible. Let's just start with the first question. He asked, first of all, he starts with, "I have 3 questions." That is not the case. He forgot his hero. He asks, "How many Lego sets do you have in total, and which ones?" I have no idea, but I know I have a lot. Over the course of my brother and my Lego collection, like a lot of sets, and a lot of them are destroyed and in a scattered Lego bin. So I can't say for sure. I know we had a lot of Star Wars sets, a lot of Lego City stuff like Fire Station, Police Department. Those are cool sets. But yeah, a lot of Star Wars sets. If I were to guess, I'd guess probably had like 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen. Probably closer to 3 dozen sets. No, probably way closer to 3 dozen. Yeah, we had a lot, and they have been very useful in the scattered Lego bin for me to use at my disposal when I need Lego pieces. So yeah, they've been destroyed. The next question from this plethora of questions is, what is your opinion of buying Lego from sites like eBay and Facebook Marketplace? I highly recommend it. Like, if you can buy like a 5-pound lot of Lego from eBay or Marketplace for a good price, and they're well kept, then I highly recommend it, because I don't know if you noticed, but Lego is very expensive, and buying them used is almost always the way to go. I personally don't buy Lego unless it's used, like either from Bricklink or from eBay. Those are my 2 main go-tos for Legos, just because so expensive. I would much rather have used Lego. But yeah, highly recommend it. Have you ever bought Lego from Whatnot? Number one, I hardly know what Whatnot is. I know it's like some marketplace, kind of like Facebook Marketplace, I'm guessing. But no, I have not. I have not bought any Lego from there. All right, next question. For your newsletter, how do I sign up and where? Okay, so it's actually, you can sign up through the bio in my channel. I have a link there, or the description of this video, or any tutorial related video. I have a link to the newsletter. How you sign up is you basically just put in your email, so that way you can get emails of weekly animation tips. So that's pretty much it. As far as I know. Let's see. Do you have any goals for your YouTube channel? Subscriber count, view count, monetization, etc. Let's see. My goal for my channel is to just be like a source of education / entertainment regarding Lego stop motion, if that wasn't already evident. As far as monetization and subscriber count, I would say, realistically, I would say like 20 to 50,000 subscribers would be a good goal. View count, I would like to average like 10 to 20,000 views. That all depends on like the content I make. Monetization, I like from AdSense alone, I would like, of course, to make a decent passive side hustle from monetization alone, but that all depends. But yeah, not like any concrete goals for like analytics and stuff like that. Will you create a channel membership or merch? Definitely not merch. Channel membership probably sometime in the near future. I'll have like a little, I don't know, $1, $2 a month membership where you can have like smiley face dude emojis and stuff. Just like for fun. Nothing crazy. But yeah, I don't really. I thought about having like exclusive videos on my membership, but it just doesn't make sense to me because I hardly post once a month as is. So doing that would just make things more complicated. Yeah. Yeah, I would just do like some custom emojis from like Super Sophisticated Super Guy, Smiley Face Dude, and like some others just to have fun with it. But yeah, nothing too serious. If you had $100,000 to use, but you could only spend it on a singular YouTube video, what would that video be? All right. I thought about this. I had to think about this before I did this, before I started the podcast. I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, it would be cool if I could only use $100,000 on one video. I would recruit the best animators on YouTube, and I would collaborate with them to make like the highest quality feature film Lego animation. Almost like the Lego movie, but like stop motion. Not like the Lego movie, but like, a quality like that. Of course, the Lego movie wasn't stop motion, but you get the point. I think that would just be really cool. And if there was like a really cool story or narrative I could come up with for that would be really cool. That would probably be the video. Or it would be like a Mr. Beast for Lego animators. Like challenging 100 Lego animators to, I don't know, just something like that. But no, it'd probably be like a feature film, a collaboration type video. I think that would be cool. But yeah. Let's see. What are your opinions on quality versus quantity when it comes to stop motion? Okay. I have two different opinions when it comes to stop motion versus like videos, like challenge videos and stuff. I have two different views on those two different things. So with stop motion, I really wouldn't focus on quantity nearly as much as quality. Like with animation, you want to make like each animation your best one and like constantly like push yourself to the limits to make it the best of the best. Of course, there's only so many retakes and stuff you're willing to do before you just want to end the animation. But I think quality is very, very important when it comes to animation. Much more than quantity. Like one high quality animation a month is better than like a poorly made, scrapped together animation every week, with like little effort put into it. So yeah, definitely wait for the animation to just do reshoots and try your best and take your time with it to make it the best it can be. Definitely do that. For videos on YouTube in general, that's not animation. Like take my challenge videos for example. Quality is important, yes, more so than quantity. But when it comes to quality, it's not so much the camera quality or the audio quality or like perfect editing or anything like that. The quality is actually in the story and like making the video as watchable as possible. That's what quality is for a YouTube video. Much more like you could film it on a GoPro and it can still look amazing, or it could still like be an amazing video and perform well. Or like, yeah, like a cheap camera, and it can still do great. As long as you have a good story and it's fun to watch and all of that good stuff. So definitely when it comes to video making in general, just make it like, focus on making it fun to watch over, well produced or whatever when it comes to that. But that's what I think of with quality for like regular form videos. Animation is a little different, but of course, story is still just as important with animation. Let's see. Well, I'm making it through this list pretty fast. If you made $3,700 and if you made $3,745 every month from this channel, would you make it your full-time job? Probably yes. If you woke up tomorrow and opened YouTube Studio and saw 1.14 million subscribers, what would be your reaction? Who would you tell first? And what would you post next? My reaction would be, pretty positive. I'd be like, hey, that's cool. Nothing too crazy. I'll just be like, oh, cool. And then I would probably, tell my brother or like make a YouTube post like, hey, I made it to 1 million subscribers. Actually, I take that back. My first reaction would be, there's a glitch in the system. Like YouTube's pranking me or something. That would be my first reaction. But after that, I would be like, huh, cool. And then my next post would probably be a video called I gained 1 million subscribers overnight. That would probably do well. And yeah, if Smiley Face Dude reaches 7.4, or was it 7.3? 7.3 million views, how would you feel? I would be happy. Like 7.3 million people got to saw Smiley Face Dude. That would be pretty cool. That's like a small country. So that'd be cool. Yeah. Like that would be interesting. All right. The next question from Samuel Drimbolas. I am really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He asked, here's a few questions for you. First, FPS. I'm decent at the animations, but they all seem to be too fast or too slow. I currently use 15 FPS. Second, lighting. What type of lamps should I buy and how should I angle them? Third, how should I improve my animations outside? I have been trying to get into more natural scenes and was wondering what I should know. Alright, so with the first question with FPS, You say you animate at 15 FPS. That's a good FPS. I think the main thing is to just really experiment with that FPS and not change it at all. Like don't change it from 12 FPS, 15 FPS, 18 FPS, 9 FPS, Like just stick to the FPS. I'm pretty sure that's what you're already doing. But yeah, just stick to the FPS and just get a really good sense of the timing and experiment with um experiment with like how many frames would it take to do like this movement and stuff like that. And once you get a good grasp of that, you won't have any problems with like this is too fast, this is too slow, because you'll have a really good understanding of timing in regards to that frame rate. So uh, yeah, it just comes with time and practice when it comes to that. For the second question with lighting, what type of lamp should I buy and how should I angle them? Um, the lamps I would recommend would be just some LED desk lamps that can like change color temperature. That would be the best because they're like $20 per piece. I mean, you can try to go to like thrift stores and stuff and try to get it for cheaper. But you do run the risk of like getting bad lights. Like if you do go to like a thrift store, like just try to plug it in before you buy it and like take a slow motion video of it to make sure it doesn't flicker. Stuff like that. I mean, but if you could find a good one for cheap at their store, then definitely go for it. Um, but yeah, I would get just two desk lamps. They're like $20 each with like the ability to change color temperature. And for angling, I would angle one like in the front of the minifigure, like kind of at an angle towards the side, like kind of diagonally, if that makes sense. That would be your key light. And then you would use the other light as the backlight, which would be like behind the subject. Not like directly behind the subject, but like kind of over the subject, but behind it and angled towards his like the back of his head. That'll create a really nice rim light and look really good. If you could do that, you should get some pretty good results with that. You can also, if you need softer lighting, you could put like a piece of paper over your lamp and diffuse the light like that. And yeah, you can also bounce the light with like some white Lego bricks or a piece of paper to bounce any light spill back onto your subject. That helps a lot as well, especially if you have limited light sources. But yeah, that would be the best thing to do for lighting. The third question: how should I improve my animations outside? I don't think like if you're trying to improve, like I'm guessing you're getting a lot of light flicker outside. If not, awesome, tell me your secrets. But if you're animating outside and you see light flicker, there's not really anything you can do to avoid that light flicker. I mean, unless you're filming overcast weather. But if you really just want more control over your lighting, I would recommend just animating inside. If you're just animating for fun, like totally go outside and go animate. That sounds really fun. But if you're trying to improve your lighting and get more control over your lighting and avoid all that pesky light flicker, then definitely animate inside and just get lights that don't flicker. That'll be 100 times better than relying on the sun and clouds passing by and all of that to stay consistent, which they don't. So, yeah, that would be, yeah. Like if you want to just improve outside animation and you really 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 want to animate outside, yeah, just animate in like overcast weather. That would probably be your best, give you the best results. But yeah. All right, the last question we have is from Ezra Meyer. He asked, what editing software / app is your favorite and which is the best on a budget? All right, my favorite editing app is Final Cut Pro. I don't recommend it for beginners though because it's like $300. But the app, like the editor that I recommend for free would probably be like CapCut. It does have like limitations and tries to get you to go to the paid plan, but it will cover everything you need for an editor for free. Highly recommend it. You can get it on your phone. You can get it on your laptop. Preferably a laptop, because editing video on a phone is just really, really annoying. So yeah, definitely if you have a laptop, just edit on there. Final Cut Pro does have like a 90-day free trial though, so if you do like really want to try that out, it's a really great editor. Very not like a super steep learning curve, but it definitely is more advanced than a simple phone editor, because it's only for the laptop and also only for Apple because it's an Apple product. So if you don't have a Mac, then you can't really get it, unfortunately. But if you do, maybe it may be worth trying out the 90-day free trial and just getting your feet wet with that. But yeah, definitely, I wouldn't splurge on that unless you're like super serious with video creation and all that, and you think you could actually benefit from it for that price. But yeah, I would just stick with CapCut. Some people use InShot. I don't really care for it. It's like a phone editor, so you could try that out. That or CapCut will work. But yeah, that should cover all of your editing needs for simple editing. Nothing crazy, but it definitely gets the job done. You can use it well and make some cool videos out of it. Yeah. For masking though, you didn't ask about masking, but I've tried to find a good free masking software or editor, and I don't know why, but there is none out there. So Stop Motion Studio just somehow is like one of the only options for masking, which stinks. But anyways, all right, that wraps up this episode. That was a quick episode. Like I thought this Calvin's questions would like take half an hour to answer, but I went by it really quick. So somehow managed to cap off at under half an hour. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully it didn't go too quick, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, and yeah. Quick announcement. I already talked about my newsletter. You already knew about that. But I am currently offering, like I mentioned last podcast, animation reviews. But I want to tell you that I am actually offering, assuming that nobody's ordered anything from it, but for the first 3 people who sign up for the animation review, it is actually totally free for you. It's usually $15, but I'm making it completely free for the first 3 people. So if in the event it's still free once this podcast is uploaded, then I would highly recommend that you go ahead and grab you a review. And yeah, it's like a video review where you send me your animation through a Google form, and then I send you a review video going over your animation. And yeah, if you're wanting a review like that, now would definitely be the time to get one. So figured I'd let you know about that. That wraps up this podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something from it, and thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and have an awesome rest of your day.